It's your chance to win a Boost Juice branded skateboard on Fresh 92.7.
That's it, Adelaide. You can win this limited edition, one-of-a-kind Boost skateboard that money cannot buy. You can only win it right here on this show for this week. It will be awarded tomorrow, but we're putting people in the draw by telling us a joke each morning and trying to boost our morning.
I mean, that's it. It's an easy-as way to win this skateboard. All you have to do is tell us a joke. If you're a jokester, if people tell you you're funny, just call us up, give us a crack, make us laugh.
Yeah, absolutely. Should we jump straight into it?
Let's do it. We've got a few callers on the line.
All right, we're going to start off with Matthew in Old Noarlunga. Matthew, good morning to you, mate. How you feeling?
Good morning, guys. I'm feeling great on this cold, wet day.
Yep, Matthew, now we are harsh critics. Do you reckon this joke's going to land? Do you have high hopes?
Oh, yeah, it's going to boost your morning.
Great.
Boost it right up.
Fantastic. All right, Matthew, in your own time.
All right, so what do you call a fish with no eyes?
What's that?
A
I don't mind it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that one.
I'll let it slide.
Good on you, Matthew. Stay on the line. We might be coming back to you. We need to find out all of the jokesters this morning.
We've got Ryan over here, Tom. Ryan, tell us a joke.
G'day, fellas. All right. So the joke is, why do us dads take an extra pair of socks when we go golfing?
Why is that?
Just in case we get a hole in one.
Ryan,
I respect the dad joke, but
love a good dad joke. Have heard that one quite a few times before. That's the only issue.
Yeah.
Ryan, stay on the line, mate. You never know. You never know. We're going to go to Jane all the way in KI. Good morning, Jane. What's your joke?
Morning. The joke is, what do you do if a bird poos on your windscreen?
What?
Don't take her out on a date again.
Oh, great. Jane, I love it, Jane.
Yeah.
Where'd you hear that joke, Jane?
Oh, my son told me, but I'm on the radio, not him.
Good on you. Definitely stay on the line. Jeez, that's a strong contender.
There's a few of these I might take home as well.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Tom, we got Julia in North Haven. Julia, do you think you can beat the last one? What is your joke?
Morning. Well, I certainly hope so. My joke is, did you hear about the deaf gynecologist?
No.
He had to learn to read lips.
Oh, jeez, it's tight.
It is so tight between Jane and Julia for that one. I reckon I'm going to have to lean towards Julia.
You're leaning towards Julia? I got to say, I haven't really heard either of those jokes before.
We can rock, paper, scissors it if you're thinking Jane.
Nah, Julia got a bit of a laugh out of me. Julia, congratulations. You got in the draw to win this Boost branded skateboard.
Woohoo!
We're talking pranks because
Yeah.
BJ Novak, who is the star in The Office US,
Yep.
and has done a bunch of other comedies, things like that, has come out and pretty much done an interview to say he's been asked to come back to the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston for pretty much a guest celebrity lecture to talk about a prank he did all the way back in 1997.
Jeez, 97.
So he's only
It's
like
this Wineback Wednesday.
Yeah, literally. So this guy, well, BJ Novak's probably, in late high school or something like that at that age.
Yeah.
Probably going into his university years.
So what was the
And,
prank, though?
Well, him and a mate, they went and got access to the University of Fine Arts in Boston's speaker system, like their kind of PA system.
Right, okay.
This is one of those museums that have the audio playing throughout, so, it's kind of describing the
Oh, it
different...
wasn't live improvisation. They were describing the the statues and stuff in the museum, the art.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So, usually that audio in the museum would describe everything that's there, the paintings, the sculptures, but BJ Novak and his mate have slipped in a tape, and the tape pretty much takes the absolute piss out of everything in that museum, but really subtly. So this is what he explained, that it was a slow build-up, and it was a prank that it would, as it would go on, people would start to realise it's a joke, telling people to break the glass, Start smelling the paintings, going around doing the hokey pokey, all these different dances and stuff. So it was an elaborate prank. But what I find so funny about this is that all these years later, this is only a few weeks back, they've given him a buzz because they found out it was him. And instead of punishing him, they've said, hey, can you and your mate come in and do a celebrity lecture?
All right, so that he's been pardoned by the museum.
He's been pardoned, and they're just like, hey, you're not in trouble.
Great prank, by the way.
That was awesome. Come back in, and it was $50 a ticket, and pretty much everyone sits around and listens to him describe how he did the prank.
Callum, you and I, we do love pranks.
Oh, big time.
You can, if you head to the Instagram, actually, at Fresh927, we pranked our social media man, Gavin. This was months ago when we did it. We took his car. We were going together. We were driving somewhere, and he had to go back into Fresh. He had to run back to the office.
Yep.
So we moved his car up a level and hid it from him, and that was our prank.
Yeah. It sounds, it sounds like Grand Theft Auto, sure.
Yeah.
But no, it was.
It's not.
It was quite lighthearted, and it was in jest.
Yeah, and you know what? We were talking just yesterday about what more pranks we can pull around the office. So we want your help here, Fresh Fam. Give us a buzz. Let us know, what was the prank? We want some inspiration here. We need to get more pranks going on around this office. If you've pulled one that was an absolute ripper.
Are you an old prankster from back in the day and you want to relive it like BJ Novak and give us some tips and tricks? Or are you new on the scene and you're just starting out doing some stuff? We want to hear from you. We had Smurf text and she said, knew my brother was about to get a heap of orders off of eBay. We ordered some naughty things in his name, the look on his face. So just getting a bunch of toys there, adding that on the list. You'd be a bit shocked, wouldn't you?
That's good. That is good. Hey, we're going to cross over to Alex. Alex, good morning to you. What was the prank, mate?
Yeah, I used to work with a bloke called Matty, and he used to start at 4 a.m. at the transport company we worked at.
Yep.
And he was a pretty seedy bloke in the morning, so I thought it'd be nice. I strapped a aerosol air horn under his office chair.
Oh, under his office chair. Wow. Did it get the result you wanted? Did he leap into the air?
It actually did get the result. When I came in about 2 hours later, he was, who the bloody hell did this? But, yeah. But I didn't get to see it, unfortunately, but I still got the result.
Did he ever find out it was you, Alex?
Oh, I confessed straight away.
Yeah, took the credit.
Oh, that's one you want to take the credit for immediately, right? That's a classic one.
There's no reason to be a Banksy about that. Good on you, Alex.
I'm pretty sure it was in retaliation for something, so I had to give him credit.
Yeah,
fair enough.
You deserved it.
Good on you, Alex. Thanks for getting involved, mate.
We got Chris in Hillbank.
Chris, what was the prank?
I got a couple, but the first one was, so it's my now wife's 30th birthday. My cousin who works for APD ended up leaving on the table. We were at the pub, had a few drinks, so I jumped in his van, cranked the music up and drove past the pub at high speed, and he was like, oh shit, that's my van.
Right,
and,
so you took the van for a ride?
Yeah, took it up the street and parked it about a K away, so he had to go fetch it later at night.
That's an absolute classic.
It's one of those
I walked back to the pub with the keys and he goes, where's my van? I'm like, oh, down the street somewhere. There you go.
I don't know what happened. It just drove off. I mean, that's a prime opportunity for seeing the keys right there.
Taking someone's car and moving it could be one of the funniest things you can do. You just need to be careful about that one. Make sure that you have consent.
Yeah, I'm glad we're not the only ones who have taken that leap of faith. Tom, when we go live on air every day, we only have, a handful of little pockets, talk breaks that we can jump on and speak our mind.
Yes, yeah, about, 5 an hour.
Yeah. So they're kind of set, and I guess, they have to be of usually quality that everyone sort of agrees that, yeah, that's interesting enough to talk about on radio. But I want to bring something a little bit new, Tom. I want to bring a new kind of talk break to the airwaves.
Right, we're changing the radio game.
We are a little bit, Tom, and I want to talk about segments or talk breaks that are, not interesting enough to have a proper talk break about, that we would put it earlier in the show, but also too interesting that we can't ignore it. So we have to talk about it.
So it's kind of like a wrap-up of the weird stuff we've seen, but there's just not enough to talk about other than one sentence.
Yeah, so we're just going to cram it all into the end here because it's not worthy of its own full break, but it's also too interesting that we can't just put it on the back burner and never talk about it.
All right, well, should we jump right in then?
Yeah, let's do it. So, Tom, I was at the markets the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was getting a breakfast and...
you went all the way to the markets for breakfast?
Yeah, well, I was going clothes shopping throughout the day and I thought I'll stop off while
During
I'm in
work
the...
hours, I bet?
Nah, it was a Saturday, but
okay.
I was going to do some shopping and then I thought, geez, while I'm in the city, I'll go to the markets.
Yeah, nice.
And get a meal before I start. And before I do that, I thought I'd get a juice at the juice bar there. And as I'm standing in the line, there's a guy that's next to me in the line as well, and he's about to go up and order. And while he's standing there waiting, his wife comes up behind him and starts giving him a double-handed scratch. Just like starts scratching his back double-handed.
Double-handed.
Yeah, as if she's prepping
Was she
him.
bunching up the shirt and everything?
Yeah,
It was
a bit. Yeah. And it was just a bit odd, and it just looked like as if she was
Nails or
trained
like
in-
rubbing?
Nah, nails as well, like full double cat scratch.
Right, okay.
As if he's a boxer ready to go in the ring, and he just needed a bit of a pep.
or he's got a terrible rash.
Yeah. But I just thought it was a bit odd. I just wouldn't do that.
No. Callum, I saw something really weird just yesterday. I was walking down to the convenience store right by our work, and I saw someone from work
Yeah.
coming out of the pub,
All right.
and he has a $20 note in hand,
Okay.
and he gives it to this random older gentleman.
You've never seen the other guy before.
Never seen this guy before. He gives this guy $20. Then the old guy hands him a family packet of Fantails.
Fantails.
Yeah.
What,
and
as
then
if it's a narcotics deal.
And then, oh no, I think it was genuinely Fantails.
Yeah.
But no, then I came back into work. I waited for him to come back, and the Fantails were gone.
Really?
I think he put them in the car to keep him safe.
I didn't realise that was still, a lucrative product. I thought,
Apparently,
they came back.
They're worth $20.
Wow, $20 for Fantails.
Yeah.
Yeah, in secret. Jeez.
That's what I saw this week.
Tom, obviously Olivia Colman, Hollywood actress, is in Adelaide.
Yeah.
You might have seen.
Yeah.
A bunch of us, including yourself, went down to have a sus at East End Cellars.
We saw her on someone's story.
Yeah,
Instagram
so
story.
we all paced down there. It was good to see her. Didn't get a picture with her. You guys left, but I stayed around with another friend from work.
Well, what you're leaving out is that it was a full film set, and they were, doing not awards, but thanking, costume people, lighting people, and you sort of joined in the clapping and the celebrations. I thought, no, this is a bit too close. I'm just going to go back to work.
Yeah, there was a part of me that thought, should I hit the pasta salad on the buffet that they've got there for the whole crew? But I refrained. Didn't get to get a picture with her, but I saw her from a distance.
Did you wink?
Gave her the double wink.
And there you go, Adelaide. That's the weird stuff we've seen this week.
Hey, if you ever want to participate, text in. If you've seen anything weird that's pretty interesting but also not that interesting, let us know.
We'll get you involved in our weird wrap-ups of the week. Yesterday, I was chatting to you about how I left my bins out for a long time. And eventually, my neighbour must have got sick of looking at them and brought them into the house for
It's
me.
a huge statement. Yeah, you don't want your neighbours to have to do that.
And then after the show, we were talking about like neighbours we've dealt with. And I was telling you a story of how my dad once upon a time was at war with one of our neighbours. Not the same neighbour, different neighbour.
I suppose in your lifetime of, being in a house, being in separate different houses, eventually you're going to come across a pretty crummy neighbour you just don't get along with, you bicker a little bit. Sometimes it can get more serious, but at most it's just a bit petty.
It all started with a classic neighbour dispute, and it was over a fence.
Yeah, of course. It's always a fence. It's either a fence or an overgrown tree. It's one or the other.
It was a fence, and then it was trees.
Yeah, exactly right. It's the perfect equation to get neighbours on your wrong side.
And this started a bit of a war between my dad and this neighbour, and basically, like nothing really happened except for whenever they'd be outside and playing music, my dad would then go outside and start playing music, and it would be like this war to see whose speaker can go the loudest.
Yeah, wow.
Just keep turning it up. You'd hear one, and then you'd hear some banging on the fence, and then you'd be like, oi.
Just until one of them invests in a battle horn and starts getting extra loud, bringing a mariachi band, forget the speaker, I'm pulling out all the big guns.
And I want to talk about those petty sort of parents out there, because it's probably the pettiest thing I've seen my dad do, just turn the speakers up and, see if he can drown out the noise. But we are going to open up the text line in just a moment. When were your parents petty?
It is such a funny thing, though, the idea of parents being petty, because they instill the idea into you as a kid, don't be petty, don't be this. They try and, give you all these values. So what a joy it is to see someone, in their 50s act like a child.
I suppose you hit an age, don't you, where I guess you just stop caring a little bit.
I think you hit an age where you revert back to being like a kid or something. Like my nana is in a nursing home, and she's literally been put in time out the other day for being petty. My parents came home from visiting her and they said, Nana can't sit with the main table because someone was chewing with their mouth open and she just had a crack at her. So they've separated her. She has to sit by herself. And I was thinking, what is this? Like, what is it when you hit the age of 90 that, you revert back to going into timeouts and detentions like you're in kindergarten?
And we got so many great texts coming through at the moment.
Yeah, I've got this one here. I embarrassed my dad in a game of Trivial Pursuit 10 years ago, and he hasn't played it or any other game since.
Jeez, imagine just being like, nah, never playing a board game again.
Yeah, it's more of a punishment on yourself because, they can be fun and, you're really removing them out of your life.
Yeah, no more hungry hippos.
That's a sad
no
day.
No more Operation. There's not even trivia in that. You won't be embarrassed.
I can go without Monopoly.
Oh, yeah, Monopoly.
The other one, Monopoly can get screwed.
Monopoly and Trivia Pursuit go on the back burner. Got another text in here. It's the old people. My grandpa's recliner is in a real weird spot at the nursing home that is in everyone's way if the recliner's up. He would rather someone almost trip and crawl over him than not have his legs suspended.
Yeah, right. Maximum relaxation. Guy needs a boom gate operation to let people through. Give him some warning.
Pay the toll.
Yeah. So yeah, my mum got really offended when the neighbours took our bins in. Same thing as you, Tom.
Yeah.
But then they said...
they retaliated in a bit of a strange way.
My mum put dog poo in their mailbox. Far out.
Who's the mum? Kath Knight.
Yeah, doing a Kath and Kim.
We've also got this text in here. I think this will test true to a lot of people because I know the exact pain that this person is going through. They said, morning, boys. Unfortunately, I've been a petty parent and made my 2 kids carry all our groceries to the car because I didn't want to pay for bags.
God.
We lost a tub of yogurt and a tomato on the way to the car. But there's no way I was paying 15 cents or whatever it is for a bag when I have thousands at home.
It's ridiculous. What, you think your kids are octopuses? That have multiple arms that you'd actually be able to carry a bunch of yogurt without dropping it.
Do you reckon they're the parents carrying anything? Or just like...
No, probably not.